Okay, guys, we'll start. Good afternoon. Uh, Yesterday we have finished with the antidepressant poisoning, like acute toxicity and manage symptom and management of that acute toxicity associated with antidepressant poisoning. So in that we have seen the like just a brief revision. In that we have seen the like how antidepressant could affect the any human being at the age and particularly especially if we consider the age group like at the age group of 25. Okay, so like they will if they are on this particular category of drug, they're having the more suicidal tendency, right? And then followed by the how this category of the drug will having the their mechanism of action. We have seen for the MAO inhibitor, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, tricyclic antidepressant, and how this like could be a unipolar and bipolar disorder. Okay, we have seen the symptom for this antidepressant poisoning. Okay, so it may be further may it could be a fatal like a convulsion and coma could lead to. Then if there is been no immediate care like within 48 hours, right? And then we have seen the treatment like symptomatic or pharmacological approach like intravenously sodium bicarbonate or some of the drug physostigmine, all those approaches or like beta blocker if the IV sodium bicarbonate will be not helpful. Okay, so all these things we have studied, and we have also started with the another uh, subunit of this particular unit, that is opioid poisoning. So in that we have understand how this opioid overdose could lead to a severe toxicity and what is its epidemiology. Okay, and we have understand like what could be the naturally derived opium and synthetic derived and prescription derived opium drug having the different proportion and different kind of toxicity, and how it could be having addiction like when anyone who are consuming this kind of opioid, either natural, synthetic, or prescription drugs. So they could be addictive because of the development of tolerance. Okay, dose tolerance. Okay, so this is how it will lead to this kind of toxicity. Okay, and we have seen that various receptor like mu, kappa, and delta, which are present in the brain, and it will be known as opioid receptor. Okay, so how they are having the activity. Today we'll understand just basic thing like about this opioid poisoning like pathophysiology, like what is the main thing, like how this opioid, like we can call as them as an analgesic also, like when it comes to the normal dose. Okay, if I'm not saying for the overdose, okay, I'm saying for the normal dose, like when like it will be taken as an analgesic, how it will having the its activity, just a brief. So you should know like how it will be. See, as you know, like this opioids will be increasing the activity at one or more G protein coupled transmembrane molecule, okay, which are known as the mu, delta, and kappa opioid receptor, okay, and they develop operational diversity from splice variant post translation modification, and there will be a scaffolding of gene product, and there will be a formation of receptor heterodimers and homodimers. So the simple meaning is that whenever you are giving this kind of opioid as an analgesic, they will go and they will target the this opioid receptor by having the modification in that particular receptor. Okay, and this opioid receptor are activated by endogenous peptides and exogenous ligands. Okay, so you can consider one of the best example like morphine, which will be having activity via this way, like they will activate endogenous peptide and exogenous ligands. Okay, and this receptor like opioid receptor are widely distributed throughout the human body. Okay, but main is into the brain, and those into the anterior and ventrolateral thalamus. Uh, so this will mediate this nociceptive process. Nociceptive nothing but analgesic thing. Okay, with contribution from dopaminergic neuron, brainstem opioid receptor modulate respiratory response to hypercarbia and hypoxia. Okay, so hypoxemia nothing but less oxygen supply into your blood. Okay, and this opioid agonist will be bind to the receptor into the GI tract to decrease the gut motility. Okay, so if you want to see like there will be a one procedure, delayed gastric emptying time. So with the help of that, you can see if any person who consume the opioid agonist, okay, so you can see there will be a decrease in the gut motility. Okay, and especially the mu opioid receptor will be there, which is responsible for the preponderance of clinical effect which is caused by the opioid. So you see, yesterday I thought, I hope that I given one example for the drug like opioid antagonist. So as I told you, like the opioid antagonist will go and bind to the same receptor, like opioid receptor. In case of like, they will bind to the delta receptor and they will alter the activity at mu receptor. They will not allow opioid agonist to show or its exerts its effect. Okay, this is how they will having the activity. Okay, so the what will happen, see at a stage, okay, so yesterday also we have discussed the same thing. Okay, at a stage tolerance of the analgesic and respiratory depressive effects of opioid is not solely related to the desensitization of mu opioid receptor. Okay, it is not solely related. Okay, but conditional tolerance develops when patient learn to associate the reinforcing effect of opioid with environmental signal that reliably predict the drug administration. So with the help of the patient, when patient will learn through the reinforcing the effect of opioids with the environmental signal. Okay, so this will help in the drug administration. Okay, and opioid used in the presence of this signal has attenuated effect. Like what kind of effect it can attenuate? Like opioid used in the absence of this stimuli or in new environment result in the heightened effect. So this is the common psycho relative things. Okay, see if we, it means to say if patient, like suppose at the one place or in the same environment, if they got addicted, okay, and so if after a particular time they got tolerated with the same dose, if they got tolerated in, and if they are going to the some new environment or new climatic place, okay, so there the same dose may having the more effect. So this is what it meant to say. Okay, so how this opioid analgesic having the like if we consider, like we have read about the toxicokinetic. Okay, so if we consider the toxicokinetic of this opioid analgesic, or you can also call it the pharmacokinetic. Okay, so this opioid analgesic agents, their absorption is like you can consider as a onset of action will be there. Okay, and they will also delay the what we have seen the earlier just few minutes back. They will decrease the gut motility, or you can also call as the, they will delay the gastric emptying time. And so therefore what will happen, it will diminish gastrointestinal motility which can be caused by the opioids for a prolonged drug absorption. Okay, so you can think like if drug will stay more time into your body or your like absorption side, so this may affect or damage the gastrointestinal motility. So they are going to target that first particular thing. And you, as you know, like if I ask you which kind of receptor present in the intestine, small intestine, anyone can answer? Hmm? Which receptors are present? No one had. Wake up, guys. I hope you had a great meal. Please wake up. No one. At least say yes or no. Okay. There will be a histaminergic receptor. Okay. So histaminergic receptor will be present. Okay. So this is the just brief see, and what could be the clinical manifestation of overdose. So when we are coming to the overdose, nothing but the opioid poisoning. Okay. So this opioid analgesic overdose encompasses a range of clinical finding. Okay. So there is a various kind of sign and symptom you can see. But what is the classic syndrome of this? Like there will be a apnea, like shortness of breath will be there, stupor, one of the kind of seizure. Okay. And meiosis, like pinpoint pupil, what we have seen yesterday, like three most common symptom which can be you can see with the opioid poisoning patient. Okay. So these are the you just remember. Okay. And we have also understand yesterday they are called as the triad. Okay. So please remember this apnea, stupor, and meiosis. Okay. So these all are the thing. Okay. And apart from this various, like there will be a in case of opioid overdose there will be a decline in the respiratory rate, which we called as apnea, like a respiratory rate of 12 breaths per minute or less in a patient who is not in a physiological sleep strongly suggests acute opioid intoxication, particularly when it is accompanied by the meiosis or stupor. Okay. So you can see, like if there is a heart respiration rate will be less than 12 breaths per minute, so that patient or along with that meiosis and stupor, it will be known as opioid toxicity. Okay. So these are the thing. Okay. Then we'll see here. See, opioid poisoning. See, it includes poisoning with natural, semi-synthetic and synthetic analog of opioid analgesic or morphine-like analgesic. Okay. So this is what we are discussing throughout yesterday and today. Like it can be of any kind of agent, either naturally or occurring like opium, semi-synthetic, synthetic like heroin, codeine, morphine. Okay, all this kind of substance may lead to the opioid poisoning. Okay, so most commonly it will be associated, which are the red color. So they are the most dangerous agents. Okay, so commonly like morphine, heroin, methadone, patidine, codeine, profexifen, dextroprofexifen, apomorphine, buprenorphine, fentanyl, sodium, and similar. So, like if you guys know, okay, like most of the athletes and sports person, like either any kind of sports, they are not allowed to take this kind of substance. Okay, if they will take, so they will immediately identify into the dope test. Okay. I hope that everyone is remember, or if you have see those who are cricket lover. Okay, those who follow cricket much. Okay. And 1 or 2 year back, one of the Indian cricket player, Prithvi Shaw, has been banned for 8 months to play the any form of cricket. Why? Because by mistakenly, okay, as per their BCCI guidelines, they have some of the substance which are called considered as a abusive and which are not supposed to take. But by mistakenly, he purchased one of the cough syrup. In that cough syrup, this codeine was there and terbutaline, kind of one agent was there. Okay. So uh, in that he done like dope test was performed. In that they have identified two substance. So he was banned for 8 months. Okay. So there is a strict penalties will be there for athlete, because sometimes what will happen, this kind of agent like if you like a few class back I have given one more example like caffeine. Okay. So this certain kind of agent, what will happen, they will stimulate your central nervous system. Okay. And sometime what will happen, this kind of substance, okay, when you consume, they will give you the calm and relaxedness. Okay. If you have been tired, so if you are consuming this, they will give you calm and relax. So this both kind of activity may lead to the some at the different level if this addiction was there. Okay. So therefore in any kind of format of sports, this kind of substance are purely banned. Okay. See, poisoning is more common among the addicts. Okay. So you have to understand, like it is not like for a normal, like if you are taking as a medic medication, okay, like opioid analgesic, then you are not supposed, this will not called as a opioid poisoning. Okay, opioid poisoning in that case, when it will be called opioid poisoning, when some dose titer will be not there properly, if there is a not if there is a accumulation of drug into your body, if there is a no excretion, in that case it may lead to the opioid poisoning in case of prescription. Okay, but those who are on addiction, like though yesterday as we are discussing, that in that case, like what will happen, one person who started by choice or by chance that particular substance with the my small quantity of drug, but that person, if they increase the tolerance and they goes on to increase the dose, so that time it may lead to this kind of poisoning. Okay, this is what here, like due to the accidental overdoses, overestimate doses, or lack of skill of IV injection. So this is what even I told you yesterday, like in most of the North Indian states, okay, like especially if you consider Punjab, so there what will happen, most of the teenager at the age of teenager or young adolescent guy, they are on the this kind of habit, okay, or like they are the drug addicts, okay, you can call drug addict. They will, to see the better effect immediately, they will take this substance in the form of IV, either they are educated or not, okay, but these people will take IV, and so you can see the veins, they are totally becoming black, and the surrounding area where they are going to give the drug via IV injection. Okay, and what will happen, see, it could be a worst in addicts with inefficient respiratory system working. So this is the worst effect which you can see if opioid poisoning is there. Okay, in most of the cases, like what we have understand, the triad response, like apnea, stupor, okay, and meiosis. Okay, so all these things. So along with this apnea, this can be lead to the depression of respiration. Okay, so unintentional overdoses in children, cough suppressant, inadvertent overdoses in adult, analgesic or neuroleptoanalgesic. So unintentional overdose, like when you have that, like this is what I told you initially when I started here. Like if you are taking as a opioid analgesic drug or any kind of preparation, if you are taking as a drug on a prescription, but in that thing, if you are taking and that drug is got overdose or accumulated into your body, that time it may lead to the this kind of poisoning. Okay, and worst when they are giving along with the CNS depressant. Okay, so you can consider as a drug interaction or drug toxicity will be there if you are taking along with the CNS depressant. Why? Because one CNS depressant also making relax to your brain and all those things. Okay, and similarly, if you are taking this kind of any of agent like natural, synthetic or semi-synthetic, they are also having the same kind of effect. So both together they are relaxing. So it may lead to the severe condition where you need to the require immediate attention of the physician. Okay, then suicidal intention, especially with synthetic opioid analgesic. So here you can correlate with the antidepressant drug. So antidepressant drug also having that suicidal tendency. Here may also it may lead to in the synthetic one, especially kind of codeine and any kind of preparation where you this patient, those who are taking, they may feel the suicidal intention. So what is the mechanism? What we have studied just now, like pathophysiology, the same thing. See, all mu receptor mediated respiratory depression, life threatening and sedation. Okay, so this is what will happen. See, especially all kind of opioid analgesic or opioid drugs, they all will, or you can call opioid agonist. Okay, so all these opioid agonists will act on the mu receptor. Okay, but overdose may lead to the respiratory depression and sedation, which could be a life threatening or fatal life condition. Okay, this metabolite of methadone, okay, produces CNS excitation. Okay, so this may leading to the delirium, tremor, and seizure, and arrhythmia, syncope, and sudden death. So as we know, like some of this kind of drug may lead to the excitation also. So therefore, this kind of substance are banned for the sports person. Okay, so this, but if overdose will be happen, so this kind of symptom could appear. There will be a abnormal heart rate. Okay, and there could be a like seizure like condition, and sudden death can be also occur. What could be the clinical features? Okay, so most of the time the severity depends on the preparation, route of administration, source of drug, synthetic, potent than natural, and potency of predation. Okay, so again you need to understand here like its pharmacokinetic property. Okay, so here it means to say like any kind of opioid agonist. Okay, see if their preparation is like if you are taking as a intravenous. Okay, so intravenous preparation may having the immediate effect, okay, or you can say faster onset of action will be there when you compare to the other dosage form, right? And then second thing, if you are taking any opioid agonist in the form of oral dosage form, either it would be in the tablet, syrup, or any kind of, okay, so in that preparation, what will happen? As we know, nowadays many of preparation are available as a sustained, extended, all this kind of dosage form. Okay. So if that time, what will happen if you are if some person who are gone the addiction, if they are taking any prescription opioid agonist, if they will see like their effect is no more, okay, or there is effect is going to end, so they will take immediately next dose. So similarly, what will happen? Where you require one drug in the form of extended or sustained release, one drug in a day, so they are consuming 2 or 3 tablets, so this may lead to the accumulation or toxicity. Okay, this is how, like, and here also we have mentioned synthetic are more potent than natural, obviously, like synthetic drugs which having the some of the modification in that particular drug formula and all those things. Why we are going for synthetic? See, it is a just general thing, like whatever most of the drug which are we are taking in the form of synthetic, either they are extracted from the natural sources. Okay, why natural sources are very effective but slowly effective? Because in natural you have the many of chemical constituent in the particular single drug, whereas in synthetic we will isolate a single chemical constituent which will be responsible for that particular activity, right? So that synthetic one having the more concentration when compared to the natural. Okay, so this is how this synthetic drug are having the more potent activity. Okay, so sometimes see, this is what I mean to tell you when I was telling about the example for the North Indian state Punjab and most of the state. See, there you can see the vein puncture marks, thrombus vein, like swelling in the vein, either into the leg or arms, and common will be in the addicts or overdoses. So you can see this kind of sign or marks when any person or any addicted guy who is taking this kind of preparation in the form of intravenous. Okay, so this like vein puncture marks will be there, and there will be a swelling into the vein. Okay, so you can see, and there will be an inflamed mucosa there, or edema, like edema, as you know, like there will be a swelling like condition, or mucosal layer got inflammation, like there will be a surrounding area will be having the redness. Okay, and there will be a generation of some red color or spot, some ulcer like thing. Okay, so all this thing will be there, and sometime what will happen, there the common adverse effect of this severe respiratory depression, like 1 to 2 breaths per minute. Okay, so what we have earlier told, if any person who identify less than 12 breaths per minute along with the stupor and pinpoint pupil will be having the hallmark for this opioid poisoning. Okay, and they are also known as cardinal signs of opioid poisoning. So you have to remember these three common thing. If someone is asked you, okay, what are the common feature of opioid toxicity or signs, so you have to remember, first of all, apnea, nothing but respiratory depression. Second one, stupor. Third one is meiosis, like pinpoint pupil. Okay. Then you have that flaccid muscle paralysis. So what is uh, flaccid muscle paralysis? Hmm? Can anybody answer? What is flaccid muscle paralysis? Who will answer?
Sir, weakening of muscles.
Weakness of muscle. Okay. And apart from, see, there could be like you can also call this thing as a, like flaccid paralysis. So if you have any kind of symptom like hallucination, agitation, confusion, or there is an injury, okay, and experience a progressive weakness in any part of your body, okay. So this may indicate that either you are suffering from this flaccid muscle paralysis, okay, and there will be an increase in muscle tone and twitching which could be due to the synthetic opioid, okay, and there would be also that fentanyl, okay, one of the synthetic agent. It may also lead to the acute muscular rigidity, okay, and apart from that you have the some of the other side effect like mild hypotension and bradycardia, okay, so lethargy and progressing into coma, okay. So you can think this can be a end stage, okay, or after that it may lead to the fatality, okay. So this could be a also severe toxicity which are associated with this. And what are the other common like, symptom, like there would be a temporary deafness will be there, gastritis will be there, intestinal hypomotility, nothing but there will be a delay in the intestinal movement which can be lead to the severe constipation and then hypothermia, okay. So these are the some of the common symptoms which are associated with the this opioid poisoning. So we have seen, see, uh, common thing like you can say, again it will be depend upon the preparation route and which kind of source. You have that vein puncture marks, thrombus vein, okay, and also you can see the inflamed mucosa edema, and there is a hallmark or cardinal sign is apnea, stupor, and meiosis, okay, and followed by again depending upon the type of opioid like flaccid muscle paralysis, increase in muscle tone, and acute muscular rigidity, and there could be a mild hypotension and bradycardia, lethargy progressing into a coma, and there are some other symptoms which could be a temporary deafness, decrease in the intestinal motility, which can lead to the constipation, gastritis, and hypothermia. So then we come to the treatment, okay. So immediately requiring the intensive supportive therapy, which could be considered as a life saving. Okay. So this will be done into the intensive care unit. So there you require the immediately respiratory support. Okay. First of all, because we have seen the one of the common cardinal sign is respiratory depression. Okay. Then gut decontamination. So gut decontamination for the case of if there is a decrease in the intestinal motility. So this will be given as with the help of activated charcoal. Again condition will be there like if less than an hour of this opioid toxicity and if the patient is conscious, okay, so that time only it will be helpful, okay. And then whole bowel irrigation, because we have seen due to the decrease in the intestinal motility it may lead to the severe constipation, okay. So for this case you have to given the this kind of drug like fentanyl sodium over dosage, extended or sustained release formulation of analgesic. In case of this you have to go for the whole bowel irrigation. Then parenteral administration of naloxone, okay, nothing but opioid antagonist, okay. So this you have to given most preferably in at the dose of 0.4 to 0.8 mg in the form of IV, IM, okay. And apart from that, if it is not available, you can go for the nalorphine, level levoleurophane, or pentojocan. Okay, so all are these synthetic one derivative opioid antagonists, and they will dramatically reverse the respiratory depression and coma. So and repeated or dose if required increase if no response or found necessary. Okay. So this is what about the opioid poisoning. So here, see, I'll give you the brief revision. See, opioid poisoning nothing but like if any person who are on the addiction, either with the synthetic, natural or semi-synthetic kind of opioid preparation. Okay, and most of the patients who are taking the prescription drug, if they gone to addict, so they again it will be having the severe toxicity because we have seen there pharmacokinetic property. Okay, so this may lead to the respiratory depression, decrease in the intestinal motility, severe constipation, all these kind of symptom. And those who are on addiction, and they are like again it will be depending upon the which kind of source or route of drug administration. See, those who are taking like intravenous form. Okay, so that patient will having the that addicted people, you can see the thrombopuncture veins, okay, and thrombosis in the legs and arms where they are puncturing the needles, okay, and it could be also having the inflamed mucosa, okay, all these things will be there as a sign and symptom. Okay, and common symptom you have to remember, I'm again and again telling that apnea, stupor and meiosis, these are the triad which are the solo you can say, you can also consider they are the main hallmark, okay, or cardinal sign of this kind of toxicity. Okay, and then again you have that common symptom, like apart from this you have that flaccid muscle paralysis. Okay, like flaccid muscle paralysis nothing but as you told, like weakening of the muscle, and any part of your body having the weakness, injury will be there, all these things will be considered as a flaccid muscle paralysis. Okay, and there will be a twitching, increase in the muscle tone, and there will be a muscular rigidity. All this will be considered as a hallmark sign of opioid toxicity. And also there will be a mild hypotension, bradycardia, okay, lethargy, and sometimes it may lead to the coma. If coma will be not controllable, then it could be lead to the fatal like condition. So what is the main approach or symptomatic approach for the treatment? Like always require the intensive supportive therapy. Okay, so in the case of important, like it is also considered a life saving thing. Okay, so there you always need to require adequate or respiratory support. Okay, so as we have continuously studying, continue that apnea. Okay, so for that you require the respiratory support. Then for the decreased intestinal motility you require the gut decontamination. If the patient is conscious and it will be not less than 1 hour, then this will be helpful with the help of activated charcoal. And then you have to give the whole perform whole bowel irrigation if that person having the constipation thing. Okay, then you can give the parenteral drug like naloxone at the dose of 0.4 to 0.8 mg either in intramuscular or intravenous. Okay, and if alternatively you can give the nalorphine, levodopa or pentojoken. Okay, so they will help in the reverse the respiratory depression and coma. And if required you can give this as a repeated or increase the dose if required, because if you cannot see the any kind of sign or symptom. Okay, so this is what about the opioid poisoning, like acute toxicity, symptom and management. Okay, any doubt, any question?
No, sir.
Okay, okay, chalo, then we'll continue in the next class. Okay, take care.
Okay, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.